What are the chances that the Angels will try to negotiate contract extension with Ohtani this offseason?
Well, certainly, first of all, nobody's going to talk about that. The Angels are not going to talk about it, and Ohtani's side is not going to talk about it because neither side wants to really make this a public thing until they get to the point where either they are close to making a deal or have given up and they're not going to make a deal. But until they get to either of those, it's going to be very quiet. You're probably not going to hear anything about what's happening. But my instinct is that the Angels are going to try to re-sign him this winter. When a guy has 2 years left of control, that's sort of the best time to approach, a long-term deal with him. He's still far enough away from free agency that there's some benefit to him to getting the guaranteed money right now, as opposed to waiting and taking a risk of injury. There's also, he's close enough to free agency for the team that there's less risk that he's going to become a bad player somehow or have injury problems. With Mike Trout, that was what they did. He was 2 years left in his contract when they signed him to a 10-year extension, basically making a 12-year contract. And with Ohtani, in this winter, he's going to have 2 years left before free agency. So I could definitely see the Angels trying to work something out with him on a long-term deal. What the dollar value of that is going to be, I have no idea, because there's no comps for Shohei Ohtani. So there's no other player to look at and go, well, Ohtani should get X because this other player got X. There's nobody else like him. And even with Ohtani, you don't know what his value is compared to what he's doing right now, because you don't know if he's going to be a two-way player for 2 more years, 5 more years, 10 more years. Maybe at some point they want him to only pitch or only hit, and he has a different value in any of those things. So maybe they have to do something really creative with his deal where, his salary is X based on being a two-way player. And if he doesn't make any starts in the previous year, then it becomes something else, or who knows? It's going to be very complicated, I think. And I'm glad I'm not the one that has to negotiate it, but I can't see the Angels letting him go because of money. And I also feel like Ohtani is happy enough with the Angels that I don't think he would leave just to maybe go someplace else where he has a better chance to win. I think that comfort is a very important thing for players, especially a player that came from another country. And I think as long as Ohtani feels comfortable with the people around him, he likes the environment, and they're going to pay him what he deserves, which certainly they are, I feel like he probably would want to stay.
How can you say that Ohtani likes the Angels environment?
Obviously, I'm only basing it on the way he carries himself and the way he seems to interact with his teammates. And I think that, when he picked the Angels in the first place, it was not because of money, and it was not because they had this great winning tradition. It was because he was comfortable with the people. So I'm just using that and basing on the way he's gone so far and the way the Angels have treated him. And, he really wants to be a two-way player, and the Angels have let him do that. They don't put any more restrictions on him. He plays all the time. And I think that's all what he wants. And I think that that's all important to him.
So you're saying that the chances that Ohtani will choose to stay with the Angels his entire career is pretty high?
Well, entire career is a long time, but I would expect that he will sign an extension with the Angels before he reaches free agency. At the end of the 23 season, when he would reach free agency, I expect the Angels will sign him to an extension before that.
How much value does Ohtani add by opening up a spot in the roster as a two-way player?
I mean, it definitely adds some value. It's hard to say how much. They changed the rules to have a limit on the number of pitchers you can have on your roster before the pandemic. And that was sort of one way to prevent teams from having too many pitchers and having too many pitching changes and having the games go too long. But they abandoned that rule, for 2020 and 2021 because they just wanted to kind of make things a little easier for teams to manipulate the roster the way they wanted to. If they go back to that in 22, then the Angels will definitely have an advantage because they will essentially be able to have one more pitcher than every other team. That certainly can help you, with your bullpen management and other things.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future videos. You can also watch our past videos from the description below. Hope to see you again next time.